that, I'd like to share a small video about who I am, how my journey completely started. So I'll just screen share and please let me know if it's just yeah. No.
I have a dream to create fruit forest at school and make a kids army to feed squirrels, birds, butterflies, and also give fresh fruits to everyone. The total of biodiversity is immense, which is a good because the more biodiversity, the more secure all life on Earth is, including us.
Yes, so this was a little bit about who I am and what I do. Yeah, so these are a few press coverages. This is my Wikipedia, and I've also got several different global accolades. And now coming to our main session. Well, I was thinking about what will I share with all of you. So I decided to share you my secret mantra. My secret mantra about how I became a change maker and how I became an impact creator, how I started making change in my own journey. So I'll be sharing you 5 steps about how you can be a change maker. So the 5 steps are: be motivated, stay updated, explore your talent, stay strong and take action, and collaborate. Now, these 5 steps together can make you a change maker, a real change maker. So let me share you about how I became a change maker through these 5 steps. The first step is being motivated. In this step, I started creating my motivations and inspiration. And for me, the biggest inspiration was nature, trees, bees, and seas. They all motivated me. So trees gave me the inspiration that whenever we cut the trees down, they again try to grow up. So they never stop. They never give up. So they motivated me. Any challenge comes, you must not give up. Then bees taught me to collaborate because when the bee pollinates the flower and the flower gives nectar to the bee, they collaborate. And similarly, a change maker should also be like that. Then comes seas. In seas, either it is low tide or high tide. They're always enjoying with their waves and having fun. So we must always be calm and we must always celebrate our entire journey, either small or big. So the 3 motivations were trees, bees, and seas. Now this was my motivation and inspiration I got in my everyday life. There was an incident that really motivated me. So this is the place where I live. And it's a completely green place full of trees, birds, butterflies. And this is Mahindra World City in Tamil Nadu. So so I was always connected with the trees over there and the birds, and they were my friends too. And I can spend hours with them. But then in 2016, when Varda cyclone hit the shore of Tamil Nadu, I saw trees falling down and I felt like they were crying. They were asking for help. And I had a very sad feeling. I said, I have to support the community, the society, and my tree friends with whom I'm connected. So I started participating in several plantation drives from 2016 to 2018 for 2 good years. And then in 2018, I said I also want to take up my own initiative. So I took a mission of planting 1 lakh trees. Now, when you have set a goal, it is important that we always start building up and we have hands-on experience onto our point. And this is where step 2 comes into picture. So our first step was motivation. We have the motivation which told us that no, you have to take a step like this and gave us a goal, our mission about what we have to do. Now comes the second step, that is stay updated. This step will guide us and give us hands-on experience and new learning which we can use in our further journey. Well, this supported me a lot because you see, I was a 6-year-old girl. And when I go to the lands, when I go to the government schools, and when I meet the headmasters and headmistress, why would they want to give me the land? Why would they want to give me land for planting trees? So it was really difficult to convince them. But with this step, with the support of this step, this big difficult task became a little more easy. Okay, so this supported me a lot. While this, I started learning and doing, so I started reading books, connecting with experts, exploring and understanding things properly. So this really supported me. And now when I had a mission, I launched my foundation, that is Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. Because when I had proper information, only then I knew the proper manner to form a foundation and how I need to move step by step. So this happened in 2018 when I was 6 years old. Then I had so many questions in my mind regarding my plantation. About where will I plant, what will I plant, how will it support mainly, and who will take care. So I said, okay, calm down. And I started answering all the questions one by one. Now, since I had some little information, it supported me in this phase of this step also. Over here, when I was answering my questions in my mind, I decided to plant in government schools because I can connect with the students, tell them about why I am doing such an activity, and they can also support me in taking care. Then I planted fruit trees because when they'll grow, it will give some fruits to the students also, and it will help biodiversity, the birds, squirrels, because I'm sure most of you go to the grocery store to buy fruits and all. But then, like, how many of you go to the grocery store to buy groceries? Raise your hand. Okay. Or, I mean, your parents go to the grocery store. Yeah, obviously. So over here, we all go. But then, have you ever seen any bird or squirrel going there and swiping its credit card to buy its fruits and eat? No, right? Never. But then the biggest food source are trees, fruit trees mainly, because trees at their house and fruit trees give them the food to eat, which is now getting cut. And due to that, they're not able to find their home, their habitat, and their food to eat properly. So that's why I started planting fruit trees to support biodiversity, the birds and the squirrels. So they also get their home and food to eat. And they are all part of the ecosystem, and we are also equally a part of the ecosystem. And we all need to balance it. So that's how we need to. That's why I said fruit trees, because it has multiple good activities which it will support it. Now, moving forward to my story, I decided I had the proper information where to plant, what will it support mainly, and who will take it. Now, and I also had additional information required. So after answering these questions, I had some strong strength in my mind that, okay, now you're set, you're building up. Then I went to meet the headmasters and headmistress of those government schools. So definitely, since I had the answer to my questions, I told them about my thoughts, and I also shared them about my initiatives. So again, that difficult task with the information became easy for me. So it supported. And now when I got the approval from the principal of the government schools, I moved forward to doing all the arrangements for the plantation. Now, this takes us to step 3, that is explore your talent. So we all are blessed with amazing talents. Okay, so this is what this entire step is about, or how we have to utilize our talent. Now, even after answering all my questions, having the information, getting the approval from the government principals, still I was facing a problem. Now, the main question which I had was that from where will I get the funds to do this entire plantation? This was a very big thing which was there in my mind. Now, here, this step helped me in using my talent and getting what I want through my talent. And you should also similarly do, because we all have so many amazing talents. We can use it for doing some kind of social cause, and we must never stop. So this is what I did. Because I was good in drawing and I was good in connecting with people, I started putting up stalls of bookmarks, grow kits, paper pencils, and through these I started raising funds. Then, for example, not only drawing, for example, if you're good in writing, then you can put up articles and you can spread awareness through that. Or if you're good in baking, then you can put up a bakery stall, spread awareness, and you can also raise funds through that. So there are so many various ways, and it's upon us how we want to use our talent. So yeah, but then now I even started participating in several campaigns and told them uh, about my fundraising, and I started raising funds through that. So wherever I found opportunities of raising, I tried. But then, but believe me, it was very difficult to go through the entire journey which I've shared till now. And sometimes I was also, sometimes I'd also be shy because people would be, it would very difficult. I'm not able to share the exact feeling, but it was not that easy to move through such different phases in my journey. And then I even started taking online sessions globally and internationally. While the lockdown, I started connecting with them. So over there also, I started raising funds. I shared them about my journey, and then so I raised funds over there also. Then I took yoga sessions. Then recently, I also launched my new initiative of art for trees, where through paintings or different arts which we have, I raise I raise awareness so other people can also participate. Now now I raised all the funds, and I got all the information. I have my motivation to guide me wherever I have any problems. But you see, sometimes in life or sometimes in the journey, you always have a feeling at one point or several times also it happens that you feel you're not able to reach up to mark, or you're not able to reach to the level. There's some problem which you face for you to move forward in your journey. And this thing happened with me so many times. But then, as it said, if you have a will, you have a way. So keeping this in my mind, I moved to the next step, which guided me again, which told me you have to be strong, Prasiddhi, and you need to move forward. This happens, it's just part of the game. So this step is stay strong and take action. Now, if with you also it might happen at some point of your journey also. So I said that me being one person, it will be difficult. So to move, now let me share the problem itself. So the problem which was there was that I noticed that I do not have enough funds with me. Even after raising the funds, I was not able to get the proper amount for organizing just one plantation of mine. Imagine. So it was a very big problem. So I said, me being only one, it will be definitely very difficult. So I created my own eco. So at the beginning, with my friends, at the beginning when I was small, it all started with me rolling in the sand, playing with the leaves. But then they all used to be like that. But then when I started with small steps, they also joined me, and we created an eco army. So we collected seeds in the gardens. Then I went door to door to collect seeds from the people. So we say that every weekend we'll come and take your fruit seeds which you eat. In fact, even volunteers came internationally. Then we created a community nursery where we create all these saplings, and then we plant them in the forest. So when they're well to go, we plant them in the forest. So like this, I created my ecosystem for my plantation. And now I found some way or the other, because if you don't find a way, you have to find, if you're not able to see a way, you have to find a way, or you have to make your own pathway. So there's always everything is possible. So that's why. Then I was set with my saplings and other requirements. Then prior to the plantation, I started with the pit preparation. So with the annas and akkas, they supported me, and like this, the pits and other things. And now definitely, as part of my plantations, the akkas, annas, farmers, and villagers were the biggest support system before the plantation, in the plantation, and after the plantation. So yeah, definitely. And like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, I started doing in different places, in schools, like corporates, trust lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and there are many more to come in the future. So till now, like this, I've created 15 fruit forests and planted 16,000 plus trees. Now this leads us to a very important step. That is the fifth one: collaborate. Now you have become a change maker, but then if right now you're making an impact, but now if you connect with people, mobilize people, spread the word, then you'll make an even bigger impact. So now let me tell you all the 4 steps which we went across. Be motivated, stay updated, explore your talent, stay strong and take action. And now we are on the 5th step: collaborate. Now, this was our entire. Now, your the 5th step which we have over here is about you helping and amplifying the journey which you have went through, telling people about how they can make an impact also. If you make an impact here at various parts, other people also make an impact. So this is only possible when we connect with them and tell them. And this is what I did. I started connecting with people, talking with people. And the main reason for me doing this and how this came in my mind, because while several of my plantations, I noticed that people really have that love, care, and compassion towards doing something really for the environment. But then they don't find the way about how they can do something or how they can create a real impact, that ripple effect. So it's important that we start making them aware. And this is what I also did. And after giving that small guidance, I've seen magnificent impact. So I made it as my habit. Before any plantation, I'd always connect with the students or the people or whoever I'm conducting the plantation. I always, before the plantation, made them aware about why am I doing this? What is my main reason about it? So that even after the plantation, they keep it in their mind, the main reason about the plantation. And like this, I started connecting with students, with villagers, with corporates, and then wherever I got an opportunity, wherever I got a platform, I spoke to them and told them, because everyone can make an impact in their own ways, right? So then in the COVID, when I came across that I'm not able to go properly due to the lockdown, I started taking online sessions internationally then. And then I did sessions, and I also connected with the child homes where I had done plantations, because I felt that they might be alone at that time. So I wanted to support them also during the lockdown. So every weekend I connect with them and tell them fun learning sessions based on the environment. Then I took sessions for the different corporates, different clubs, societies, and now I'm working, like my work is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. And since I cover a few of them, and since they're all interlinked through their targets, I cover all. So now soon we will also be going into diverse fields and different activities. So now I'll be organizing an SDG boot camp. I'll be a speaker and organizer for the SDG boot camp also. And now across the globe, there are 16,000 plus change makers who are a part of my eco army and who have started making small changes from their sides. In fact, I'd like to share an incident that recently I've conducted an internship also. So for one of the colleges, I've conducted a 6-week change maker program where there are 6 diverse projects for girl child, for biodiversity, for carbon footprint, for the local villagers, farmers, then for the farming also specifically. And like this, we have diverse projects, and they'll be going through different phases: problem statement, solutions, survey, and different other points also. And we have mentors who support them personally, and experts who come internationally and share their point of view. And now let's go through all the 5 steps, the entire journey. So the 5 steps are, which can make you a successful change maker, is: be motivated, stay updated, explore your talent, stay strong and take action, and collaborate. And only through these 5 steps, I managed to plant 16,000 trees, create 15 fruit forests, and take 100 plus sessions globally. And now I'm sure that you will also have your own secret recipes too. It's not only about these 5 steps, you can also build above. So now if you feel that you're not able to do all these 5 steps properly, then I have an even small version for all of you. That is on gratitude. Even if a person can just smile, do greetings, or encourage a person who's doing something good, then they can also make an impact. Because now there are people who are doing so many amazing things. If we encourage them, since they have that power, they can make an even bigger impact. And we'll support them, definitely. So there's a very big need of such people in the entire planet also. So these are the 2 ways through which you can become a change maker. And now on gratitude, I'd like to plant a sapling on behalf of each one of you, so that you can also become take your first step towards becoming a change maker. And now you can even scan this QR code, or else I'll share you the link probably in the chat. So you can fill the form and you can also become a change maker. It will help you in becoming a change maker, and then I'll plant it on behalf of you through the details you fill in the form. Yeah. So before I conclude, I'd like to say something. That if you think that there is no need of change makers, and why should you become a change maker, there's no reason about me becoming a change maker, then I'd like to say only one thing. That's, if not you, then who? So I'd like to conclude by saying, dream high, higher than the sky. Yeah, dream high, higher than the sky. Think deep, deeper than the ocean, and act like trees, bees, and seas. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. Your presentation was filled with so many details, and your voice is so fluent, I can easily understand you. I really hope you become very successful in life.
Thank you so much.
You are going to be successful. Really awesome job. I could listen to you all day. But now we're going to move on to our questions. So let's start. Our first question is, how did you build an eco community with 16,000 plus people? How were you able to bring so many volunteers?
Yeah, so you see, this was not a one-day job which I had done. It's a 3 years journey which I went through. So whenever I went in any plantation, as I mentioned, I made it as a habit to connect with all these students, with all the people over there. So government students especially, because over there only I do like lot of my plantations. So I always connected with them, told them, and they also took small efforts by watering the trees planted or feeding the birds, and like this, they also made change. So they are my main change makers who support me in the plantations also. And during the lockdown also, there were a few students, government students, who were so happy. So I encouraged that even during the lockdown, they went and watered the plant. So I felt that they are the real change makers who are there. So that's how we have done. So in fact, Prasiddhi Forest Foundation has also identified them and given them a scholarship. So like this, only I've created my entire eco arm.
That's a very good explanation. I could very much understand that. Okay, well, moving on to our next question. How long did it take you to plant the 16,000 trees? And can you tell us your process for each? Not each, but
So I started in 2018 and currently it's 2021. Until now, I've planted 16,000 trees and created 15 fruit forests. So now it's not only now, if we count from 2016 to 2018, these 2 years, I've planted several thousands of trees on my own itself in those plantation drives. But then from Prasiddhi Forest Foundation side, it's 16,000. So yeah.
nicely said. Okay, next one. I know you're more of a nature enthusiast than just trying to plant trees, right? So I'm gonna give you a question about, okay, I'll just say it. What are some ways we can save water if people don't know in our meeting?
Yeah. So to save water, there are several ways that are there, but then I share a few if you're asking. So one is that we can take short showers, or when we brush our teeth, we can try closing the tap, or else we can always check the toilet leaks. Then we can we must always, there are several small ways which are there, and then we must not waste water. So for example, if there is excess water, we can just go near, if there's a plant, give it water, or we can just to utilize the gray water in some way, or recycle water, or take water harvesting initiatives. So yeah, these are a few ways which are possible. I'd like to highlight one point about trees in saving water. Trees are moreover like the magnet for water, because their roots inside, they require water for their own living and growth. So from wherever there's water nearby, they always try to push it from their roots. If there's a tree in our lawn, then we might think it's a lonely, lazy standing tree. But then ground beneath our feet, what world is there of them? We have no idea about it. No idea completely. So inside that place, the water is they're the magnet to water. So for their living, they take it from the, not only from the roots, but even from above they take it. So whenever you sit below a tree, probably you'll feel very fresh, and there'll be a amazing feeling which you'll have over there. And now since I plant microforest over here, yeah, since I plant microforest, there's a power to reduce the carbon footprint also which we generate. So it's really amazing, and it reduces the temperature over. So it is also a very, like, it's an amazing way to save water.
Wow. I asked you to talk about how we can save water, which you also included to talk about trees in that. You're going somewhere. Okay, now let's move it on to Nether.
Yeah, it's amazing how you're talking so much about trees, and we can really tell that you're very connected with nature, and you can see the problems and the solutions. Before we start with the questions, I just want to say I really like your motto, trees, bees, and seas. It just works for everything, not only environment. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Okay, so first question I want to ask you is, was there a specific time when you felt that you couldn't do something, and how did you solve it?
Now, this has happened with me several times, you know. Now, I'd like to share one of my recent incidents. There was one of my plantations which were there, and one of my plantations, and the saplings always used to die because there was not proper water facilities over there, and it would be very sunny over there. So it was a problem. And then sometimes the cattle used to come and eat over the plants. So we had to replace the plants 3 times, you know. The first time we did the plantation, the second time there was not proper water facility. So due to that, so many plants died. So we again planted them. And then now there's no proper water, and then there was the cattle used to come. So we put the proper fencing. Now we are putting the proper water facilities, and again we have, so we restored it recently. Only then, but still there's a problem that there's no water. So we are trying to find solutions. So you see, such problems always keep coming. And as I shared as part of my 4th step, stay strong and take action. At point of time, it always happens like this. So that's there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's sad to hear that there's problems with planting trees, but I'm really glad that you're still continuing to do it and persevering. Okay, this is a question that I had since I read about you. Can you tell us about your experience getting the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar Award from the Prime Minister?
So, let me share you the story about my experience. I was sleeping when I came across this information, and when I got to know about it, I saw the message which came, and I was so happy. So my parents came up because they only got the message on their phones, and then I was like, okay, this is a new thing which has come this morning. And then I went downstairs. After my routine, I went downstairs in my garden. I went over there. I planted a tree, and I said that I'm sharing my happiness with you. And I wanted to celebrate it with that tree about this moment which I had. And then after that, when I went to meet the Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister, virtually we met due to the COVID. So over there, he shared me 3 sankalpas while speaking. The 3 sankalpas were be regular. So I should be regular on me planting the trees and doing everything. The second one is about me being on the promise I made to the nation. So if I want to plant 1 lakh trees, and I've promised I have to plant 1 lakh trees. And then the third one is to always be humble. So even I say, if you'll be humble, you'll never stumble.
That's very good advice. I think we all should know that. So I'm sorry, this is another follow-up question. So when you got the award, did they like choose you out of everyone in India, or did you have to like apply to it?
So I had to apply for it, and then they chose me.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool.
So I was the youngest recipient to receive the Prime Minister National Child Award, and I was the only one in the social service category this year, and the only one from Tamil.
Wow, that's a big achievement.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you totally deserve it. Okay, this is a question that is beneficial for people who are probably don't have enough time to plant like multiple trees. In your opinion, what tree is the most beneficial to plant in your backyard if you had to choose one tree?
Now, at the beginning, I'd like to say that every tree is beneficial from its own way, but what matters mainly is about what tree you're planting and what location it is over there, and will it suit to that location? Will it survive over there? Can the tree survive? So for example, if you no, it should survive over there. Only then there's a mean of it getting planted. So over here, there's a tree. Now I'd like to share one tree which is really good. In fact, even in America, it's there. That's the Lakshmi Taru tree. So it's said as Neer Marutu in Tamil over here. Now this tree is really beneficial, and it is there over there in the Central America. where this, like, mainly from there only it is there. So this tree, the benefit of it is that it stops the UV rays from coming upon us. So for example, nowadays we all have started using laptops, tabs, and mobiles. So this will be there, so it really protects us. So this is a beneficial tree I'd like to share.
Yeah,
Rest
that's,
it depends on the location, and now other native trees specifically I'd suggest, because the now in many of the advanced countries still they are just decorative trees or hybrid trees, due to which there's a lot of problem. Now if you touch the soil, it will be dead soil, it won't be real. But when you touch the soil which is properly fertile with a proper real tree which has its proper roots, then what you will see is that the soil will be moist and there'll be more than a lakh organisms and microbes you will find in one hand of soil.
that's very
So
scientific.
yeah.
Yeah, I've actually never heard of the tree you were talking about, but it sounds like it would be really helpful, especially around this time of the year. Yeah, so I want to have
Yeah, so I'd like to share that in English it's said as paradise tree.
oh, okay. Oh, that's great. I'll see if I can plant one too. Yeah, so I have some questions in the chat. So we're gonna go to audience questions. Audience, if you have any questions, just you can write it in the chat and we'll ask Prasiddhi. All right, first question. For your tree art, what kind of materials did you use? Was it like a painting or a certain type of drawing?
Okay. So I didn't get your question properly.
I think it was called Your Art for Trees.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Um,
So over there for art for trees, the materials I used was the normal paints and then the brushes. So over there, I used the art form to represent nature, and in that art for trees exhibition I had done for the 5 tattvas, where in all my paintings I was representing each and every tattva. So the 5 tattvas are the 5 elements of nature, in English we say. That is the earth, water, air, fire, and space. These are the 5 elements of nature. So based on each one, I made one plantation. Sorry, one painting.
That's an interesting way to think. I never heard of such a specific type of painting. And I think it's interesting you chose to do elements.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next question is, how did you identify areas for planting or forests you set up in government areas?
Okay, so for this, usually I connect with all the schools only and all the government colleges to do my plantation. So now I've even started connecting with the government officials so that they can support me in getting the land over there, and they can also help me in taking care. Taking care of the forest and helping it. And then, like after that, there are all supportive. There are lands. I just need to go and I need to tell them. So with them, we collaborate and then they support us in giving the lands. So in fact, even recently for the land thing, we connected with the farmers in different villagers. So we support them for creating we give them all the facilities for creating the nurseries. And then from there we get the saplings, and through that we always do the plantations in different collaborative areas.
Wow. I see a question that's repeating a lot in the chat, actually. How do you manage your time between schools and this Forest Foundation?
So managing my time over here, it's just like how now I'd like to share a point. If you have a passion, you'll always find time for your activities. And connecting with nature, planting trees, telling people, it was always like my passion for me. So I always found time for that. And along with my studies, so my studies is my favorite thing also. And I always get an A plus in all my subject and all my standards. So yeah, I managed to that. Passion, studies, they all together. I manage. It's not really a problem, and I'm always a taskmaster. So the moment I wake up, I always plan my day, and then I move forward to going on to my day. So I'm an agenda person.
I'm an agenda person too. Organizing my
Oh.
day, that's something I really like to do. One question I saw in the chat was, once you reach your goal of 1 lakh trees, what is your next goal?
My next goal. So while I keep planting trees, I always connect with the students and the different people. So I always started. I mean, so I have a mission that by 2025. By 2025, I'm able to connect with at least across India and globally many students and tell them about my initiative and take forward a project which is currently in the pipeline. That is the G3 project. So this is a G3 ecosystem. There are 3 G's: generate your own oxygen, grow your own food, and give the community. So this is an ecosystem and I want to take it forward. So currently I have plans about this. So, and since I'm the brand ambassador for Save Girl Child, Educate Girl Child for Tamil Nadu, the campaign. So in that also I have projects to help the girl child, the woman, and support them and empower them.
Wow. Okay, I think we have time for a couple more questions. One question I saw was in the chat was, I mean, like, you have a lot of scientific and philosophy knowledge. Who guides you through the information side of this?
The information, so the books and the experts with whom I connect. So yeah,
So,
this is the main point.
So what kind of books do you read?
Yeah, I read books. I'd like to show you. This one, yeah, it's mainly about soil, and this one about.
Very nice.
Yeah, so this one is the hidden life of trees, and this one is the secrets of soil.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading a couple of questions in the chat. Okay, I think, all right, next question is, do you think technology is any help in situations relating to saving the earth?
Yes, definitely. It is a great thing that can support us in this thing. So drip irrigation, yeah. For example, the drip irrigation technology, it can really support in the different plantations that we do. Then the precision of agriculture. So there are several such technologies that support in helping the environment, and there are many machines. So AI generated machines, then machine learning. Then we can use the platform, the technologies to tell people globally, not only the place where you stay. This is also a way about using. Then based on on waste management and soil-based different machines have been developed. Then like this also, there are so many different technologies that we can use, and digitally this is also a type of technology only through which I'm able to connect with you. You are in USA, I'm in.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to have the last question. How will we be able to contact you? Do you have like a website or an app?
Sure. So if you want to contact me, then you can contact me on Prasiddhi Forest, Prasiddhi prasidhiforest.org is my website, which you can Google probably. And my social media handles are Prasiddhi Forest. So even on Instagram and Facebook. And let me just write it to all of you probably. So yeah, so that's my website and then my social media. Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna hand the stage to Sparsha.
Okay, so throughout this whole meeting, I have been taking notes of important parts, and I'm going to summarize it for all of you. So Prasiddhi is on a mission to plant more trees. She's planted in lots of government schools. She's raised a lot of money to help her organization, and she has collaborated with several government officials. She has an award from the Prime Minister, and she's the youngest recipient of it. She gives college internships and has over 16,000 people in her eco army. She's a social entrepreneur and has participated in several tree growing programs before finally taking initiative and making her own. She wants to plant a total of 1 lakh trees. Her 5 steps to being a global changer is 1, motivation. What she did was identify her inspiration and use it to motivate her. She liked trees, bees, and seas. All of these always played an important part in her role on planting more trees. So for anyone who does need the motivation, identify your inspiration. And use it to motivate you. After that, she wants to stay updated. So she wants to read, meet, and explore. So she read a lot of books and met several experts before finally starting off her organization. So now that she knew all the small facts, she could launch her own campaign. So for anybody who does want to start something, make sure you read, meet, and explore different fields before you start doing whatever you want to do. Explore. So she used many of her talents to raise money. She was very good at art, which is why she started raising money through her art. It doesn't just have to be art. Anything you're good at, you can use to raise money. She's also went to several campaigns to raise money for hers. But something important she always encourages to remember is that nothing will ever be easy. For all of these steps, she has had to work very hard to get there. And finally, collaborate. So meeting and greeting people will help you spread your words, as well as giving you a stronger base of people who are willing to help you with your problem, which is exactly why she collaborated with several people and connected with several kids in the government schools that she was going to plant trees in. At the end of the day, many of her accomplishments was because she collaborated with a lot of people and talked to a lot of them. When COVID hit, meeting people in person and collaborating with them was very hard to do. So instead, she took the digital pivot, like many other people were forced to do. Despite only being able to talk via Zoom, she was able to connect with a lot more people. And she says, if you're not going to take initiative, who's going to take the initiative? If not you, then who?
Thank you, Sparsha. That was a very good summary. But since we're running a little late, I have to kind of do this quickly. So thank you everyone for joining this meeting and getting inspired by this young enthusiast of nature. We would like to dedicate these last couple minutes by giving a round of applause and a thank you to Prasiddhi.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. We are really excited you joined us here to talk with CD, and we hope you all learned something new and are able to do some planting after.
Yeah, thank you, Prasiddhi. It was very inspiring. I think Anirudh also had a last word of thanks.
Okay, so thank you, Prasiddhi. I really enjoyed learning about yourself and what you do. You did great. Your words were so motivational. I feel you're talking like an adult. And what you do, the number of people you got into your program, the number of trees you planted, it's all just amazing. And thank you, Netra and Soham. You asked great questions. I really like the question about water, because if you're planting trees, you need to water them a lot. And water is another big issue. That's because people wasting water could harm the environment, because soon there might be a water shortage. So I really like that question. Then thank you, Srishti and Suhani, for moderating the chat. And thank you to all of you in the audience for joining us today. Thank you to all the parents for supporting us. And finally, thank you, Raganti, for coordinating and helping us throughout this series.
So don't forget to fill the form which I have shared in the link in the chat. And moving forward, when I'll organize any session, I'll share the link. So if time is there to join.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Prasiddhi. You're
Thank
such an inspiration. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wishing your mission to become mission of many more and turn our earth into a green earth.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for your blessings.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, Prasiddhi.
Bye. Thank you everyone for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Prasiddhi. Bye. Bye.
CD, bye.
Thank you for this session. I really enjoyed.
I'm glad you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new.
Wow, very nice. Okay,
Bye. Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Should I assign everybody to leave?
Yeah, you can keep it closed, ended.
And meeting for all?